Hey everyone, Marco here. We're going to break down the visual imagery of Harry Styles' new video, Aperture. We'll take a stab at the lyrics and what it all might symbolize, and try to find as many Easter eggs as possible. Now, if you enjoy these types of videos, please smash that like button, subscribe, and comment. It helps other people find us. Okay, Harry calls down to the hotel operator to possibly order room service. This is him in the real world. I think the dream begins when he lies down on the bed. Something to notice, there's no luggage or other stuff in the room. It's pretty sterile and anonymous. We do see his jacket on the chair and, oddly, some Adidas sneakers next to the nightstand. The dream sequence is extremely similar to Christopher Walken in Fatboy Slim's song, Weapon of Choice. That was directed by Spike Jonze, and it won 6 MTV Awards. Chris is in the Marriott lobby, while Harry is at the Westin Bonaventure. Even the color palettes in the videos are similar, greens, blues, and warm golds. We couldn't use the actual Aperture track for this video because of copyright restrictions, but this dance track has the same time signature. Now, 2 lonely guys are dreaming in nearly empty hotels in downtown LA. Room 605 might be a thing. Harry says it, and the camera kind of lingers on it. But the room they actually filmed in is the Bunker Hill Suite, which is associated with room number 2270. Now, some people think 605 has some deep significance, and it probably does, knowing Harry. But it's a mystery to me, so some metaphors aren't really meant to be fully disclosed. We get the first glimpse of the stranger, which represents Harry's past, his shadow self, his regrets. Ringing the bell at the empty concierge desk is in both videos. The "Will Return Shortly" sign at the concierge desk is a hint at the upcoming Together Together tour. The close-up on the drink may be a hint to the lyric, "Drinks go straight to my knees," which some people think has a sexual connotation. Sequences on the escalators are in both videos. Now we move into the second callback video, a reminder of Trent Reznor stalking David Bowie in the "I'm Afraid of Americans" video. Harry's stranger is played by dancer and choreographer Danny Dolan. The stranger who was following behind Harry now magically appears in front of him. He's been carrying that bag. Is he delivering for DoorDash? What's in the bag, Danny? Gwyneth Paltrow's head? And is that logo on the bag one of those coincidences? I mean, Louis does sell merch with the smiley logo, but the director of the video, Aube Perry, uses the smiley logo in his work too. The iconic Bonaventure Hotel has been the location for dozens of productions, including Interstellar, True Lies, and Blade Runner. The chase symbolizes that chaotic, violent journey of confronting one's past before eventually accepting, embracing, and for Harry, dancing with it. The video depicts a literal fight for balance that transitions into an intimate connection, mirroring themes of change and growth, and opening oneself up to new experiences, and possibly new love. Harry describes the song as being about a shift in perspective, embracing change, and moving on from a former self. When the duo crashes into the maid's cart, I noticed some eyeglasses that seemed weirdly out of place. Do they belong to the maid? Harry filmed in the same room that Billie Eilish used for her Birds of a Feather video. The extreme close-up of the blue soda may be a color reference to Louis Blue. Harry is having the time of his life in the Dirty Dancing throwback. No one puts Harry in a corner, and he never says no to a bit of high wire flying. Jennifer Grey was not on wires, however, for the famous Dirty Dancing lift. She stated that she never rehearsed the move and performed it only once during the actual filming of the final scene with Patrick Swayze. Now, green footwear is a thing now too, I guess. Harry's wearing green Prada collapse sneakers in the video, and he wore green ballet slippers to the Grammys. Green was well known as Harry's mic color in 1D. In the song lyrics, he mentions time codes and Tokyo scenes. That seems to be a real-life reference to the Tokyo Marathon that Harry ran. And look at the color of the shoes he was wearing for that run. Then he mentions bad boys. It's complicated. It's complicated. This is the only mention of gender in the song. Now, Harry was recently spotted wearing a shirt that says, "The more I know men, the more I like my dog." So yeah, things probably are complicated in Harry's world. We get a blink and you miss it glimpse of the only jewelry Harry wears in the video, which in itself is odd because he loves wearing jewelry in his videos and in his life. But this seems to be a scaled back, more introspective Harry. The only piece is the cross necklace, which I believe was custom made by English jeweler Charles Good. One of the other things to notice is Danny Dolan's amazing form. In real life, Danny doesn't look like Trent Reznor. Now that Harry has embraced his flaws and the mistakes of his past, we get some amazing dance moves for everyone to learn. The choreography here is a little Madonna, morphing into Twyla Tharp, and then giving us what looks like vintage Billy Elliot. I mean, since the Treat People with Kindness video, we all knew that Harry could dance. But here's the sequence that launched a million TikToks. I'm not sure if that's a bite or a kiss on the wrist, but it leads to more flying, and we see Chris Walken is flying around the Marriott too. These two videos really are linked in so many ways. Choreographer Ryan Heffington said that the Nicholas brothers were an inspiration for the dance sequences, seen here in Cab Calloway's Stormy Monday. But the brothers were primarily athletic tap dancers, and that's not what I'm seeing in Aperture. I do see dozens of backflips through the top floor revolving Bona Vista Lounge. One of the few continuity errors I spotted was that Harry is wearing the Prada lip shirt with no undershirt, while you can spot his stunt double wearing a white undershirt in some of the flipping sequences through the lounge. The dream ends when Harry comes through those magic doors, but the refrain of the song remains in his head. I think that hints at how dreams can help the creative process. Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't incorporate the pool at the Bonaventure. Here's some footage that I shot in that very pool a few years back. Cool at night with the downtown skyline lit up, and water is a constant element in many of Harry's videos. Water can also symbolize cleansing, baptism, and awakening into a new self. So I think they missed an opportunity there. The pre-chorus, Aperture lets the light in. It's best you know what you don't. Aperture lets the light in. To me, this says there's something in the dark, something that's unknown, that's a secret. But Harry is stating that it's best that you know what you don't. I think it's very similar to a lyric he wrote for the song Lights Up. All the lights couldn't put out the dark, running through my heart. Lights up and they know who you are. Do you know who you are? The two songs mirror each other. Shining a light in the dark, knowing who you are, self-realization. The refrain and/or title in many songs, "We Belong Together," has been written into song lyrics since the 1950s. One of the more popular and truly atrocious versions is Mariah Carey's, where, in her marriage video shot at LA's Greystone Manor, she leaves wealthy and older Eric Roberts at the altar to be with her ex, the very pretty, young, and seemingly poor Wentworth Miller, although I don't really know how poor he is driving that cool car. The rather shallow and superficial tone of her video reveals what Mariah thinks passes for art. Randy Newman wrote an equally terrible "We Belong Together" song for one of the Toy Story movies. I think Harry's inspiration for the iconic line came from Rickie Lee Jones. Her brilliant, heartfelt "We Belong Together" from her album Pirates is iconic. If you don't know this song, you should give it a listen. Aperture repeats that line, "We belong together," a total of 12 times, and it's the last thing Harry says in the video. The big question is, of course, what does the key phrase "we belong together" mean in the song? Harry has stated that Aperture is a kind of mission statement for the whole album. It could be that Harry is saying he belongs with his former self, embracing his past, or that he belongs with his music and, by extension, with his audience, his fans. The tour is called Together, Together, and the message he leaves for fans is the simple voicemail, "We belong together."
We belong together.
Or Harry might be talking about an actual personal relationship. He's wearing the Prada lip shirt, the album is titled "Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally," and Harry has stated that his songwriting is often about tipping his hat to past relationships and past experiences. Now, what do I think it means? All of the above. As Harry says, it's complicated. We belong together. It finally appears it's only love. At its core, I think Aperture is a love song, and maybe it's love that appears when the light is finally let in. Now, my next video is going to discuss Harry and queer representation, both in his songs and at his concerts. So subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a thing. I'll also be doing a deep dive into the album Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally after its release on March 6th. Thanks for watching, and treat people with kindness.